Two engineers agree to meet in a park. The first one shows up at the meeting location and watches the second one ride up on a new bicycle. The first one says to the second one, "Where did you get the bicycle?" The second engineer says, "Well, I was walking over here and a young woman rode up on this bicycle, set the bike down, took off all her clothes, and said, 'Take anything you want.' I took the bike." The first engineer says, "Well, the answer is obvious. Her clothes wouldn't fit you." Welcome to another shave. That was a dad joke done for Shave and Butcher. I promised I would do one. And now you see why I don't tell jokes. Today I'm using, today is June 7th, 2025, 7th day of the Lather Games, which goes all month. I'm playing. And today's challenge is to use a soap that's a limited release. And today I'm using Chicago Grooming's 1889. This is a release that was done just for the R Wetshaving subreddit. 1889 is a fragrance that is actually called Jicky, J-I-C-K-Y, produced by the fragrance house Guerlain. And it is a famous fragrance. And Vida at Chicago Grooming has done a terrific job on both the fragrance and the soap. The fragrance has top notes of like lemon, lime, and other citrus like mandarin, maybe some sort of an orange, and bergamot. I mean, everything has bergamot, right? And then there's some base of woody notes like sandalwood, and there's a little bit of vanilla in here. This is a really wonderful scent, but limited release. I'm also going to be bowl lathering, which is a new thing for me. Well, not new. I've bowl lathered before. I went to the Sugar Daddy Shaves School of Bowl Lathering. But I normally load from the tub and then face lather. And so that one of the challenges for the other challenge, the daily challenge in Lather Games, is to lather in a way that you don't normally do. So I normally face lather, load from the tub. Now I'm going to bowl lather. So let's get going. Hope you're doing well. I have the brush soaking. This is a combination brush handle by Muninn Woodworks, and the knot is from AP Shave Co. So it's kind of a, this meets one of the many side challenges in Lather Games. This is called a Frankenbrush because it's a handle supplier and a different knot supplier. So I'm going to get a 1/30th of a point for that. And yes, I don't really follow this too closely. My way of playing the Lather Games. So the Lather Games, they publish a calendar. So each day of the Lather Games, there's a theme that you want to try to meet, and generally that implies a different soap. And so they publish a calendar in May so that everybody can prepare. Not everybody owns all these soaps, and so you have a month to beg and borrow, maybe steal the soaps that you want for the Lather Games. Then in that announcement, they tell you what some of the other challenges are, like the hardware challenges, razors and brushes and so on. But there's a daily challenge. And, you know, as I said, today's challenge is to lather in a way that you're not accustomed. And then there's all kinds of side challenges. Too many for me to enumerate right now. But I'm about to show you another one once we get going here. Like Sugar Daddy, I like to work the lather in on the face, not paint it on. And I have done what he would call, I'm doing a modified version of this, but this is what Sugar Daddy Shaves would call a slurry lather. My slurry lathers are a little thicker, but very, very wet. And so I paint them on a little thicker, and then I add a little water. Okay, the razor for today is a Weck Sextoblade with custom scales made by Muninn Woodworks. But this meets one of the hardware criteria, a replaceable blade straight razor, which gives me another 30th of a point. So, and I'm not totaling them up. I mean, there are people who keep a running total of what their points are. This is a new Kismet blade. If you're going to use a replaceable blade razor, the Weck Sextoblade is the one I recommend. Getting Kismet blades, and Kismet blades are in my opinion, the best. I've only tried a couple of others. There's a From blade. These are hair shaper blades. There's a From blade. And then there's a Persona blade, which I believe is carbon steel. This is stainless steel. And I've tried those. I like this one the best. Sextoblade really feels like a very light straight razor. So that's why I recommend it. You're not dicking around with trying to shave with an Artist Club blade or a DE blade. Kismet blade the hair shaper blade is a little larger. Very sharp. But the overall feel it's an open blade. And so the overall feel of this razor is very much like a straight razor. Okay, there we go. I don't do this, but some people strop these Kismet blades. They're not cheap, but you can get many shaves on one. So they're not necessarily a terrible value. This scent is incredible. When I got it, I also bought a decant of the actual Jiki fragrance, an EDP, and it's gone. I used this soap all of last August, and I enjoyed every day of it, and I'm enjoying it a lot today. It's definitely an all-season scent, very well constructed to sort of fit whatever season you're in. It's 80-some degrees Fahrenheit here in Maryland today, and really muggy. And the top notes on this scent make it seem very, very refreshing. In the winter, when I've used it, I pick up more on the woody scents, on the vanilla, you know, that lower end of the base notes come out more. It's no wonder that this scent was famous, or is famous. I don't know whether they still make it. That's the Jiki scent. If Vita, I'm going to go through this tub pretty soon. If Vita remade this, I wouldn't complain. These blades, these Kismet blades, I think I mentioned it, but if I didn't, I'll repeat myself. They're very, very sharp. And so with a new one, like this is, you're going to get a very, very close shave no matter what. The real trick is what I always preach, which is low angle, very light touch. You want the touch to be, you want to feel the hair being cut from the skin, but no more. Super comfortable. Now I prefer the character that comes with a straight razor, and especially the blade of the straight razor. Hold on. There we go. But in terms of efficiency and closeness, you can't beat this. And the blade is stainless, so you don't have to stress out. Wow. You don't have to stress out too much. With rust. Some people do strap these blades. I don't do it. I just use them. I stocked up on Kismet blades. I have more than I need for the rest of my life because I haven't used this since last August. Okay, I'm going to cucumber toner from Hazel the Witch, and then we will let that dry down while I clean up. So let me do that now. Okay, I'm back. We're going to finish up. Well, let me dry off. Do a final dry on the toner. We're going to finish with AG 1889 Aftershave Splash, where you get even more of the fragrance. Really nice. Really enjoying that. And let me once again show you the cleaned up bowl. As I remind you, I bowl lathered. Here is the AG 1889 soap cover. Here's what the soap looks like. As you can see, I'm starting to make a donut. And finally, this is the Muninn Woodworks handle and AP Shave Co. Not all dried up. Yeah, here's the Muninn. He's got a very interesting coin for Muninn Woodworks. I guess it's more done like this. One way looks like Muninn, and the other way looks like MW. So you can decide which was the proper orientation. All right. As always, thank you for being with me. I haven't kept you too long, but sub 20 minutes. Always enjoy your comments. If you want to learn more about the lather games, go over to Reddit, and you can just search for 2025 lather games, and you'll find all kinds of threads related to the lather games. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.